Greetings. This is Doc Ock coming at you live and direct from Black Facts Headquarters Central this evening with another installment of Doc Ock at noon and 9. All right, let's get this show on the road. You know what you need to do to help us lighten our load, and that is, if you're watching on Facebook, give us a like. If you're watching on the YouTube, give us a thumbs up. If you're watching on whatever platform you're watching on, just go ahead and make sure to spread the word far and near, up and down, all through the land, so that we can give everybody something that we got planned. Only moderately so, because we definitely do go unrehearsed through the universe. Speaking of which, let me go ahead and read our proverb for the day. Let's see what we come up with today, because I know there's still some good ones left up in here. Ooh, my goodness. Oh, we are starting to run out. Oh, nope. Still got some more. All right. Here we go here. A sheep cannot bleat in two different places at the same time. A sheep cannot bleat in two different places at the same time. For all you sheeple out there, that's one for you. I'll let you all figure out exactly what that means. A sheep cannot bleat in two different places at the same time. And I believe this one is from Urundi. Oh, no, Tanganyika. All right. And on with our story of the day. On to our story of the day. Story of the day being the story of none other than Ms. Althea Gibson. The one, the only Althea Gibson. First African American to win a major tennis championship, right? During the days when you had to be an amateur, meaning not that you weren't good, but meaning that you did it for free, that you did not get paid for your services in coin, the coin of the realm, or in kind. Now you could have a sponsor, but that was the only thing that you could have. Okay, and those were hard to come by. So for Miss Althea Gibson to get one, she was doing really good. Just to get a sponsor to be in the tournament. Now let's go ahead and continue reading from her autobiography. Let's see what Miss Althea Gibson had to say about her days in Harlem and then on to be a tennis star. I think my worst trouble started when I graduated from junior high school in 1941. However, I did manage to graduate. How I ever managed to graduate, rather, she says, I don't know. But I guess I was there just enough to find out a little bit about what was going on. And I see I've got to do some of the same here because my slideshow seems to be awry. Either that or they simply made up their minds to pass me on to the next school and let them worry about me. And we've seen that happen, and we see that happen in the schools all the time, where the child just gets passed on to the next grade level. Okay, I don't know what this thing is doing. It's doing something strange here, though. Okay, let me see if I can correct. Yep, I click that. Okay. It might have worked, except that I didn't like the idea of going to the Yorkville Trade School. There we go. Yeah, I did not like the idea of going to the Yorkville Trade School, and that was where I was being sent. It wasn't that I really cared much about school or which school I went to or played hooky from. It was just that a lot of my girlfriends were going to one of the downtown high schools, and I wanted to stay with them. I tried to get changed over, but they wouldn't let me, and that didn't sit well with me at all. I guess I went pretty regularly for the first year, mostly because I was interested in the sewing classes. I got to be pretty good on the sewing machine. I remember once something went wrong with the machine I was using, and I volunteered to fix it, and I did. Okay, mechanically inclined too. Oops. See that I'm missing out here. All right, here we go. The teacher was amazed that I was able to fix the machine. But after a while, I got tired of the whole thing. And from then on, school and I had nothing in common at all. I began to stay out for weeks at a time, and because the truant officer would come looking for me and then Daddy would whip me, I took to staying away from home too. Mom says she used to walk the streets of Harlem until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning looking for me, but she never had much chance of finding me when I was really trying to hide out. I never went near any of the playgrounds or gyms or restaurants that I usually hung out at. I sneaked around to different friends' houses in the daytime or sat all by myself in the movies. And then, if I didn't have any place lined up to sleep, I would just ride the subway all night long. I would ride from one end of the line to the other, from Van Cortlandt Park to New Lots Avenue, back and forth, New York, LA, back and forth, like a zombie. At least it was a place to sit down. Naturally, the longer I would stay away, the worse beaten I would get when I finally did go home. So I would just stay away longer the next time. It got so that my mother was afraid to let me out of the house for fear I wouldn't come back. The girl was just a wild child. Sooner or later, though, she would take a chance and give me 15 or 20 cents and send me down to the store for a loaf of bread or a bottle of milk. I would go downstairs and see the boys playing stickball in the street, and that would be the last I thought of the loaf of bread or the bottle of milk. I would play until it got dark, spend the money on something to eat, and take off on another lonesome trip. I had no intention of staying at Yorkville Trade School, but I was too young to get my working papers, so I had to make a deal with the school people. They let me have working papers on condition that I would go to night school a certain number of hours a week. I went for a couple of weeks, but then I stopped, and nobody ever came after me. So that was that. I was officially a working girl. I liked it too. I felt better working. I had the feeling of being independent, like I was somebody, making my own money and buying what I wanted to buy, paying in a little at home, and doing what I wanted to do instead of being what you might call dictated to. It was very important to me to be on my own. I must have worked at a dozen jobs in the next few years, maybe more. I was restless, and I never stayed in any one place very long. If it wasn't to my liking, I quit. I was a counter girl at the Chambers Street branch of the Chock full of Nuts restaurant chain. I was a messenger for a blueprinting company. I worked in a button factory and a dress factory and a department store. I ran an elevator in the Dixie Hotel, and I even had a job cleaning chickens in a butcher shop. I used to have to take out the guts and everything, but I still like to eat chicken. Out of all of them, I only had one job that I really liked, and I lost that one for being honest. I was at the New York School of Social Work. I was the mail clerk, and I even had a little office of my own. It was my job to sort all the mail for the whole school and deliver it to the different offices and people and also take care of sending out the outgoing mail. I liked the job because it was the first one I'd had that gave me some pride, that made me feel like I was somebody. I was there for 6 months, the longest I ever worked at any job. I lost it because one Friday, some of my girlfriends were taking a day off to go to the Paramount Theater in Times Square to see Sarah Vaughan in the stage show, and I decided I would go too. When I went into work on Monday morning, the lady supervisor sent for me to come into her office, and I knew right away I was in trouble. What happened to you on Friday? She wanted to know. I could have lied to her and told her I'd been sick, but I didn't feel like it. I told her the truth. All my girlfriends were going to the Paramount to see the show. I told her Sarah Vaughan was there. I thought maybe it wouldn't be so bad if I took just one day off. I'm sorry about it. I won't do it again, I promise. For a minute, I thought she was going to let me off. I must say I admire your honesty, she said. I would much rather you told me the truth than have you lied to me, but that doesn't change the fact that your job here is particularly important to all of us. We've got to have an especially trustworthy person in it. I had to do all the mail by myself on Friday, and it was late getting around. I simply can't have somebody in that job who would leave it untended for such a foolish reason. She told her, didn't she? I'll have to let you go and get somebody else. The kind of girl I was at the time, it wasn't easy for me to beg anybody for anything, but I really begged that lady to let me stay. I'll never do it again, I told her. Honest, I won't. I'll come to work even if I'm sick, but she wouldn't change her mind. The only thing I can do for you, she said, is give you a week's pay to give you a chance to find another job. But you're through here. You'll have to leave now. Right now. It wasn't exactly the best way for me to learn that it pays to be honest, but it was a good way for me to learn that it pays to stick to your responsibilities. I sure liked that job. I hated to lose it. For a while, I didn't really knock myself out looking for another job. I suppose you could say I was sulking. Anyway, I just stayed away from home and bummed around the streets. It wasn't long before a couple of women from the welfare department picked me up and laid down the law. If I wouldn't live home and I wouldn't go to school, I would have to let them find me a place to stay with a good, respectable family and report to them every week so they could keep a check on me. Either that or I would have to go away to the reformatory, one or the other. Naturally, when they put it like that, I said I would go along with what they wanted. So they got me a furnished room and a private home and even gave me an allowance to live off while I was looking for a job. I could hardly believe this allowance, Jazz. It was too good to be true. Shoot. But I figured I might as well enjoy it while I could, so I forgot all about looking for a job and just spent all my time playing in the streets and the parks and going to the movies. I went back to see my mother and father fairly often, and they made no objection to what I was doing because they figured I was in good hands with the welfare ladies. I sure was, never better. All I had to do was report in once a week and pick up my allowance. It was during this time when I was living in a never land through the courtesy of the city of New York that I was introduced to tennis. My whole life was changed, just like that. And I never even knew it was happening. Mm, mm, mm. Well, well, well. Looky here. Ain't that something? Whole life changed just like that. And there you have it. That was chapter 2, I believe, in Althea Gibson's story. And we'll start on chapter 3 tomorrow. Meanwhile, y'all know what time it is. All you little children out there need to take your little heads and rest them on your little pillows on your little bed and close those eyes while you wait for that sun to rise. And when you see that big old ball coming up in that sky, you know that it's time for you to rise and shine, oh children of mine. So I need not tell you, not even one more time, to hit the hay, because it's the end of the day. And as for you adults, you know the way to satisfy all your responsibilities. What you need to do right now, if you haven't done it already, is give us a like if you're watching on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, give us the old thumbs up. And no matter what platform you're using to watch us, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then go ahead and become a sustaining member of the Black Facts family. How do you do that? Just make a small donation, 5, 10, 15, 20. If you can do that on a recurring basis, that makes you a sustaining member. You can do it on your phone, your laptop, your iPad, any way you want, either on Facebook, YouTube, or at our website. Website is blakfacts.org. When you get there, you will see me, and you also see a button at the top right-hand corner that says donate. Hit that button. That'll take you to the donate page. If you want to do it on Facebook, go to our profile picture with the coins next to it. Click the profile picture. Anywhere you see it, that'll take you to a donate page as well. And if you're on YouTube, go ahead and look below in the description part. You find the link to the webpage as well. In the meanwhile, peace out without a doubt. We'll be back tomorrow with another set of videos. If you didn't see today's set of videos, you ought to see them. They're on the playlist called Juneteenth 2021. Check it out. Check it out. Yeah, we add something. We add new videos every week. We add, on the weekend, we add new videos every day. So we add new videos on Saturday, and then we'll add some more videos for tomorrow. So make sure to take a look at that and enjoy. In the meanwhile, peace out without a doubt. This is Doc Ock at noon and 9, signing off.